Yesterday on YouTube I made a rather naughty statement that to execute Troy Davis would be to kill him, it would be murder. Well, it turns out that that wasn't such a naughty statement after all. It simply is a fact, and everyone needs to hear that fact soon before they make the mistake of murdering him. One of the justices, indeed the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of the state of Georgia, said in her dissent to the ruling of her court, if recantation testimony, either alone or supported by other evidence, shows convincingly that prior testimony was false, and you know that's what we have here, recantation saying the prior one or the original eyewitnesses say their statements were false, then it simply defies all logic and morality to hold that that testimony should categorically be disregarded. Well, anyone would know that. That's only common sense. So why did I think it was a panel of 5 judges, 3 said don't take the case, and 2, herself and 1 other, said take the case. I don't know why the 3 did it, but let's not worry about that at the moment. And later you may say, oh, and why did the U.S. Supreme Court not help him? Well, the decision of the Supreme Court, and you couldn't even call it a decision really, was to not hear the case at all, to not look at it, so they have not even seen the merits. That's the problem for Troy Davis. No one would hear his case again once the original eyewitnesses had said we were forced into what we did. So I want to make a strong message for, say, the legislature of Georgia, which would have the right to step in and ask for something additional for him, if not a pardon. That would certainly be the easiest way. And note he's already done 20 years in jail for something he didn't do. I want to read you a few of the maxims of the law. They are the broader principles of the law that should guide judges, and have done so for hundreds of years. In fact, these are written in Latin, but I'll give the English translation. That was the English courts were using Latin. It's not Roman law, it's our Anglo-Saxon law. One is, it is the duty of a good judge to enlarge his jurisdiction. Not enlarge it geographically, but enlarge the remedies that he can come up with, or the abilities that he has to make the law work. That's Boni, judicis est ampliare jurisdictione. Next we have one that says, he who has the authority to do more important things ought not to be prohibited from doing that which is less. Cui licet, he who has the license, quod maius non debet quod minus. So just as you would say, if the judge today, all judges can give away $5 million in an award to this claimant, or can put 10 men in jail, they can do the big things. It's foolish to say they can't do a really small thing like look at this case after it has gone through other stages. Next we have one, lex semper dabit remedium. Lex, law, semper, always, dabit, gives remedium. All law always gives a remedy. That's law's job, is to find solutions to conflicts in society. Another one is, and this one applies to us, qui non improbit approbat. He who does not disapprove approves. You might say today, oh yeah, America's going along with this. They know about this case. Probably not too many actually have heard of it. By the way, I see it is not being reported in the newspaper, other than in Atlanta. And that makes me think that, as usual, the media has decided to be silent so that Americans won't find out about it. After all, it's a fairly interesting case when you have a pope writing in to give a plea for pardon, and the European Parliament's Council writing in, and many, many other prestigious organizations, and yet nobody's hearing about it. But because if we don't act, we will be seen to have thought, yeah, it's okay, you know, he tried his judging, so he has to go and put his arm out and get the needle and all that. No, he does not. It would be extremely wrong, as Chief Justice of Georgia said. It would defy all logic and morality. We must not kill an innocent man, and we don't have a case against him, so he is an innocent man. Don't be swept away by the wordings of previous courts. The maxims are much higher. They are the principles that guide the courts. Here's another one. salus ubi multi conciliarii. It's safer when there are many counselors. So we are the counselors here. After all, the prisoner has to look to outsiders for help. It is society's job to help. And how can you help now? Well, I recommend sending the link to this YouTube video to any, say, law school, dean of law, or to, well, you think about who you could send it to help emphasize that there's nothing to be afraid of by saying this shouldn't go through. You know, let justice happen. If the skies should fall, the skies are not going to fall if we do not put an end to the life of this man. Rather the opposite. It would be horrible to do it. And the guilt will be on all of us for doing it. It's wrong to do it.